afternoon, everybody. Now it's Wednesday, but it feels like Tuesday. Because, of course, I was at Sewing Street yesterday, but promised you, as always, we would do our tile. But I've had Dobby do my inking. But, so you can see, yeah, looks great. He's used the brush pens to give me something a little bit interesting in the background. So I thought it'd be nice that you, yeah, you see that. He just wanted to feel special because feels like he's had his nose pushed out because there's no Mackenzie. But here we go, ready for tile number, what was it? 473, yeah. Regular white tile, inked it with the brush pens. If you're not sure how I do that, I haven't talked about that on a few others in the past, so go back and have a little look, it's dead easy. Let's make a start, shall we? I'm going to come in with pen straight away. Now, please feel free, you don't have to if you don't want to. You can go straight in with a pencil and leave it there and draw it in afterwards. But I'm feeling a bit brave today, so I'm just going to go for it. And I think being that I've got a little mark there, yeah, that's part of the ink. That's all right. I'm going to sort of start and put my main few bits and pieces up the top here. So let's have a look. I'm going to draw in a bit of a bubble. So you see, not too small. I'm going to go a little bit bigger. So you can see I'm already pretending that I'm sort of making a start with it. So I'm going to use an 03, that'd help. I'm pretending, so I'm getting the idea of where it's going to go and how I'm going to sort of make this look. And then if you really need to, you can sort of start put bits in. Here we go, look. Work it round. Doesn't have to be perfectly round. It's a bubble, remember? Bubbles don't have to be round. They're just bubbles. There we go. Got one in. Oh, breathe a sigh of relief. Look, first one done. I've got a couple more in, not as big. So let's put one sort of here. There you go. See, this one feels easier now because I've already done that larger one. Did anybody watch the Sewing Street yesterday? I was giving our lovely John as good as he gave me. Yeah, it was a really nice day. We had a really good time. If you've not seen it, you need to go and watch those. Shows it were great. All right, if yours are in a slightly different position, that's absolutely fine. It's just as long as you've got a bit of a cluster going on there, okay? And then sort of centre, doesn't have to be exactly. Let's sort of put another bubble in. I'm going to do that in all three. There you go. Okay. So let's focus on this one to start with. What I want to do is I'm going to go from here. Now usually, you're used to this, we bring a line, don't we, this way. It's an angle. But today, I'm going to do it differently. I'm going to do it like that. Okay, and I'm going to turn it round. I'm going to do it like that. And turn it round. And like that. And turn it round. And like that. Okay, slightly different shape there. So I'm going to do that on the others as well, but I'm not going to sort of start here. I'm going to move it a little bit because I want that to sort of start at a different place. Like that. Like that. Okay, so if I look at the two together now, you see that one's sort of up here and this one's more at an angle. So I'm going to do the same with this one. Let's sort of turn it slightly. So remember, from here, I'm going in like that. In like that. And then again, in like that. And again, in like that. And another one, in like that. Okay, so I've got three. So far, so good? All right. So looking back at these lines, what I'm going to do is I want to put myself another line next to that one. I'm just going to put the lid on that 05. I don't need it off. And I'm going to do another one. And I'm going to do another one. So, and this first one, I'm going to fill it with some ink. We've got that. So, if I turn it round again. Now we did 1, 2, 3, remember? So there's 1, 2, and 3. And then I'm going to fill it with ink. Only that first one. And then again. There's 1, 2, 3, not too far apart from each other. Let me keep them in sync and fill that one in. And then again. Okay, let's neaten that 1, 2, 3, and fill that first one in there. Okay, so we've got that shape. So if I just sort of zoom in a little bit, there we go. Let's just look at this outer one. So we've got filled in, then we've got a plain one. And in this one, I'm going to put myself some little lines in it going this way. All the way along. And the same this way, all the way along. And this one. It's just remembering which sort of line you're working with. We've got those stripes there. It gives it a little bit more interest. So as we're working our way around. Okay, so let's do that with the others then. So here we go, look. 1, 2, 3. Keep it quite close because these are all small after all. I can fill that one in and I can put my little lines in this one. And then turn it round. 1, 2, 3. Lines. Fill. Okay. So I'm going to go round and do that. If you want to put those lines in first and then come and fill it later, you can do that. That's fine. Whatever works for you. And then this one. 1, 2, 3. Fill it in and then little lines. Okay. Same again, look. So now we're all counting in 3s, aren't we? All in our heads. Fill that in. And lines. Turn it round. 1, 2, 3. Fill it in. And lines. And again, fill it in. There we go, see? And lines. Last one. 1, 2, 3. Fill in. And lines. Okay, let's have a little look. So coming out. So we've got that kind of a thing going on. So just before we finish this, if we look at these little spaces that we have around, what I want to do, you see we've got that curve of that bubble. I want to bring in a couple of lines like that. See, one's bigger than the other. Let's do that again. Look on the curve, one there, and then a smaller one. And one there, and a smaller one. And again, one and a smaller. So again, let's do that on all of them. There you are. See, they're going to be a bit smaller, of course. There we go. And this one. And the last one, following the curve that you've got there, there's little lines. And along. And along. Okay. So we've got quite a bit of detail going on in there, haven't we? I think as well, looking at these little bubbles in the middle, let's move back in. I'm going to put myself another bubble in the middle there, like that. See if we can get them in. And another one there. Okay, see this one I can always come back in, like, and I can neaten that round if I need to now. So if you've got a little bit of an edge, you can clean them up. It gives us that shape. Okay. So let's have a look at our next sort of little section. You see I've got quite a bit of space down here, so this is going to be the top of my tile. And I'm going to come down here, I'm going to sort of follow this line around. And I want to put myself a curl in here. So this is going to be the largest curl we're doing. So get yourself comfortable and imagine where it's going. See, I'm going to come round. Now if you need to, you can stop part way. And then you see how I've sort of eased it off. And then if I come back, I can come back round and round. So I've got that. But then on the end, let's neaten that off and create a little loop. I'm going to put a little dot on the ends. Just do a few on that end there. See, just sort of give that a little bit of interest. Okay. And looking at the space to the left here, I'm going to put myself another one. But this time it's going to sort of come along here. And I'm going to pretend it's underneath. And that little loop. So it looks like it's definitely going underneath there. All right, all with us. So I'm going to bring out a couple of lines here. See, one here. Leave yourself a little bit of space because we're going to draw something on the end. On there, look. And then I'm going to come out here, here, and here. See, they're all different sort of lengths. And then I've got a bit of a gap in the middle there. You might not have, depends on how you've drawn your bubbles. So I'm going to come in and I'm going to fill it with different sort of size bubbles. And then any little gaps, let's cover and get some ink in there. Okay. So let's have a look at what we're going to put on the end of these shapes. I'm going to start with this one. Let's have it that way so I can sort of see where I'm going with this. And I'm going to put myself a little bit of a curve, like a little bit of a cup shape. Okay, look how funny it just sort of fits around that. That wasn't planned, it's just where it lay. And then I'm going to bring that in like that. So it looks like a little moon shape on the end, you see? A moon shape. And then it doesn't matter which way you do this. I know some of you out there, crazy, I know, left-handed people, right-handed people. But, okay, I'm going to do it, let's have a look. I'm going to go this way. So I'm going to start from this curve. I'm going to pull it up and I'm going to come around and create a curl on the top like that. Okay. You see where you've got this little bit left on the edge there? Just going to bring it in, put a little line, just sort of fill it in like that. And at the bottom, a little curve that way, a little curve that way. Like almost like a little smile. Okay, so let's have another go at one of those. I'm going to start this time. Again, a bit like a cup shape. I'm going to turn it into a moon, like that. And then I'm going to do my curl the other way this time. See what I feel best. So I'm going to come around, look. Put my swirl in, a bit like a Swiss roll. And this little bit on the end here, I'm going to add a little bit of ink there. And two little lines at the bottom. Okay. So, let's go in again, look. Cup, turning it into a moon, bringing in a swirl, finishing the edge, little curves. So here we go, the other one. Cup, moon, I'm going to go this way this time, swirl, finish that little edge, two little curves. Again, cup, into the moon, swirl, little line, two little curves. Okay, let's have a little look at that. Okay. So a few bits and pieces going on. I think we could actually put a few of those up here as well. So what if I bring a line out here and I'm just going to do a small one there because I don't have much space. And same kind of thing, I'm going to go a little bit smaller though. A little swirl in there, look. Like so. And this one. Around we go. They kind of sort of fall off the pen once you've done a few of those. Really quite sweet, a bit different. Okay. So I just want to neaten up the stem a little bit. And of course, with it being a line, we want to have something a little bit different in there as well. So it doesn't matter which one we start on. I'll start on this one. That's where I began. Little bobble on the bottom. And then as I work my way down, they're going to get a little bit smaller. Like that. Same again, look. Bobble on the bottom. Then they're going to get a little bit smaller as I work my way down. Same again. A little bit smaller each time. Now don't try and make these the same sort of distance apart. Just add them in as you go. They don't have to be. There we are. A couple more. Dot in. Getting a bit smaller. And again, look, a little bit smaller. Okay, so there we go. Got those. So again, just to sort of kind of finish off those little things, I'm going to come to the bottom again where I put that dot, and this side I'm going to create myself like a little leaf, look. Put the line in. So it's a curve, and a line in the middle. See, that just sort of finishes that bottom edge off there. So same here, look. Curve either side, line in the middle. So each one is going to have the same sort of thing. Working along and along with a line. Along. I think that's not that long ago. This was just an inked tile. It was nothing crazy, was it? Now we've got this drawing going on it. Put some lines there as well, look. Same on that one. A line. Right, let's have a little look. Okay. That's made a huge difference, hasn't it, putting those little leaves in? So let's have a look now at this shape here. Okay, because we've not put dots on it like the others. Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring a bubble there at the top of that. And I'm going to work my way down, each one getting smaller as it works its way around to little tiny dots. And similar thing on the other side. See, each one gets smaller and smaller till they're just tiny little dots working their way down. Okay, so same sort of thing with this one. Even though it's behind that piece, still doesn't mean we can't ignore it. We've got to keep it going there. All right, so far so good. Just going to bring my 05 in at this point because here I want to fill it in, but I'm going to leave myself a little bubble there, so it's kind of got a bit of a highlight. So if I fill the rest in, leaving that little dot, look, you see, just gives it a little bit. Same on here. Just going to fill that bit in. It'll look all right on the end. Of course, if you want to fill it all in, and then you could use a white gel pen or something, you can add that dot in or make it a bit bigger if you want to. Okay, so far so good. So there's a few more bits. So coming in here, I'm going to bring in quite a sort of a, follow the curve or the shape there, and make a thin loop. And then do another. And if you can, another. Of course, it depends on how close you are, but I can fill that in there with those shapes. And I'm going to get one in each of those. Try to make them slightly different sizes. You see, look there. One there, one there. And let's do a little one there, look. You see, it just gives that a little bit of interest in the bottom there. Okay. Now, decision to make here. Do I actually fill them in or do I leave them? I think I'm going to bring my 5 in again. And if you've got space as before, I'm going to fill them. But I'm going to leave a little bit of a bubble. That's a kind of a highlight there. Only if you've got space, if not, fill them all in. I don't know what size you've drawn them to, so. And on the bottom there, tiny little. All right, filled in. And I'm going to bring a couple more lines. I'm going to do one first, but I'll do two. So let's go in and see what we're doing on there. So on the top here, I'm going to do sort of a little bit of a wavy kind of leafy shape. Put a line in the middle. And then I'm going to work my way down that little curve, which is now the stem. And put some wavy little shapes in there, forming some leaves. So I see that on the top of this one as well. See, wave both sides, coming to a point, and along we go. Wave. Now I'm going to get another one in there. Depends on how long your stem is or where it is how many of those little leaves you put in. So let's have a look around the rest of the tile there. Look at that. So rather than sort of saying, right, I'm going to put two here and two here, I'm going to look at the piece and think, well, I want to put one there. Look, let's balance it out a bit. Do I want one down here? Yes. I'm going to bring one around here. One there. So one here. Look. So I'm sort of trying to work within the flowers if I can. One there. Look. See, here could be tricky because we've got these sort of shapes going in. Do I want to put one there? I'm not so sure. So let's put the leaves in and then we can go back and make a decision. Sometimes you've got to think, how much do you want to put in and where will it balance? And to this one. And then along, you see, sort of giving it a bit of a wave as we go. So let's have a little look at this one here. See, sort of wavy line, and I've got that line in the middle already. Notice I'm always sort of working from that bottom point. I'm going up, and then I'm bringing this one up to the point. That way I know I'm going to get a nice sort of point at that top edge. Okay, so one here, look, wavy, wavy. Now if you want to work your way down, first one side, and then the other, like that, you can do that. And that one. And I'm going to get one in there. Okay, and of course I've still got my line here. So let's put one in there. And along. And so keep it going. Okay, let's have a little look. All right, so it's nice to have sort of these leaves in. I don't want to really bring anything around here because it's got a little bit of a style all of its own, but to bring it together, if we remember, we started with bubbles, so I'm going to add a few in, and I'm going to sort of put some slightly different sized ones sort of around the area there, a few on this edge, some round here. So keep them different sizes, different spaces apart. Don't count them. You're going to count them now, aren't you? 1, 2, 3, 4. Don't do that. Don't do that now. You just want a few in, see, like that. You could always do this with a gel pen or something as well if you prefer. All right, let's get some pencil in there, a little bit of shade. I think I'm going to bring a bit of colour in first. So what do I have here? Being that I've got sort of pinks and blues and purples in the background, I think that's kind of where I could go and have a look. Let's just get pencils out here. So I'm going to use my regulars today. What have I got? I've got a deep rose, a mid rose, and then let's bring in also my light rose. So I've got a couple there, look. See, look, mid rose and light rose. And just pull it in. Oh. I've got to think about what there's the focal point of this, which is this bit in the middle here. So I'm going to start, you know those lines we put in there? Let's have a little bit of that darker colour in there, like so. And then turn it round, same sort of thing, look. See how that works? just little bits. I'm going to do the same on each one of those. Okay, obviously I can't put as much in on those, but we've got some going on. Okay, I think also sort of at the bottom edge here, just a little bit of that colour there. See how it goes up one side and just round a bit, almost like a little letter C kind of thing. But if I'm doing it this way around, it's going to go there, look, there and there. Okay, just a little bit. There and there, look. Just don't force it, just put a little bit in. Same in this one, look. And that one. Okay. So, bringing my light rose in. Let's add a little bit. See, I'm just sort of going over the top of it and filling in a little bit. I'm not filling the whole thing now. I'm going to bring a bit of white pencil in. You see, I'm going to put a little bit in the middle there as well. You see, so not pressing on particularly, just adding some colour. Same on this one. You see, just little bits, and then of course on these ones, I'm just going to sort of come round. Again, not fill the whole thing in. We sort of work it on that edge, along and around. See, so I've got a little bit left where there's no colour. Depends, of course, on what colour background you've used. If you've done any inking, that you're going to get a slightly different sort of tinge of pinks or whatever you're going to use. Okay, so let's bring my white in, and let's go back to where we started. See here, look, I've got this bit. I'm going to come back in and work over those colours. So again, there's not much work needed here. It's just a case of coming in and working over those colours. And into there. Sort of kind of finishes it off a little bit, doesn't it? Same with these, like a bit of white on there. Now I'm going to try, if I can, to avoid going over the pen. I just want to highlight the bit of pencil. And I don't want my pen to sort of disappear in the background, so a little bit of white. Okay, let's have a little look at that. There you go. So look, I always miss one. Where's Janet when I need her? Janet always reminds me. And a bit of white in. That's better. Look at that. Okay. So I've used the pinks. I've still got blues and purples here. So I'm going to bring a little bit of purple in. I think I'm going to go with my darker one, which is Purple Gem. Okay, and rather than fill any of that in, I want to just bring a little bit of it into those, you know, the larger bubbles around the edges. Just a little bit in there. Don't worry about the small ones. Just want a little bit in there. That just brings that colour in. And then of course, back to my white, and just going to sort of work those two colours together. All right. So in terms of the blue, it's a little bit sort of sea blue. So I'm going to bring a little bit of that in. I've got mid-sea blue here, so I'm not going to add any shade or anything like that with this. But where I've got my leaves, rather than do them green, see, this has got a little hint of green. It's very similar in colour, look. I'm going to fill those. Again, I'm not going to try and blend these. I'm just going to fill them in. Like that. They're really small as it is anyway, so don't really need to fill that in. Oh, thank you, John. Please don't make up a tea. then sneaked out. He's left Dobby here though. It's been a bit quiet today, Dobby has. Apart from inking the tile. I've not really seen him today. He's out and about. There's people mulling around today, so he's probably been networking as he does. Okay. Kid's having withdrawal symptoms. He's not seen Pauline in ages. I'm going to add a little bit of that into those bubbles as well, just like I did with the purple. Okay. So I've come back in with my regular pencil. There's just one little bit to do here. And I'm going to see where I've got this little cup shape that we turned into like a half moon. Just pick a side. I'm going to add some to it. You can do the same side. You can do different sides. It doesn't matter. Whatever works for you. And then, of course, Tortillon. Let's go in a little bit so you can see what I'm doing there. You see I've filled part of it in. So nice and gentle, soften it out. And if you can help it, don't fill all of it in. See, leave a little bit. Just gives it that slight hint of 3 dimensions. Okay. See, that one's a little, just a touch more. Just a touch more. Okay, let's have a little look at that. Alright, so we've got a bit of colour, and so the colours in the background, we've brought it to the fore. I'm just going to come back in with my pencil and add some around the bottom of those shapes there. Like that. Not all the way up, so just a little bit in there. And then on these flowers as well, I'm going to add some, so it's not quite touching, you see, to the bottom of that one, and that one. So just a little highlight, but not touching each other, okay? See this one, you're going to get a little bit there. This one I'm not going to do because the bottom's a bit too full anyway, so we're not going to do anything there. All right, let's go in a bit. Tortillon again and soften it. So I'm working now in swirls around the underside there. See, into there. Ease it off because what you want to do is you want a nice sort of even blend going on. Okay, like so. And then in here, there you go, look, I'm just going to soften it off. And there, look. Soften it off. Okay, like so. So it's not quite touching, but you're getting the essence that there's a little bit of shadow there. Same on this one. Okay. See, not that one, I'm not going to do anything with that one. This one. There we go. Alright, so let's have a look at that. There you go, so you see it's got a little bit of something there. So just to sort of give that slightly more realism, I'm not going to do the leaves, I'm going to put a line just sort of slightly underneath where those stems are. Let's see if I can put a little bit on that one too. A little bit under there. Just on where those stems are. A little bit maybe there. And a little bit there. And again, just going to work it up and down, soften it off. Around here. And that bit. And then again, just sort of follow the stems, a little bit of pencil. Okay. Just a little bit more. I'm going to come back in with a second layer under there, just that little bit more. Just darkening it a little bit. And then again, let's ease that off. Ease that off. Okay. So there we go. There's our tile for the day. A little bit of shading in there, a little bit of dimension and shadow, a little hint of colour, and of course a little bit of an inked background. So last thing to do, bit of a signature, as always. There we are. We'll start at the bottom. And there we go. So I know it feels like it's Tuesday. It's not. It's Wednesday. We're definitely a day later. But of course, I'll be back here as usual on Friday at 2 o'clock for another one. So please have a go at this. Let me know how you get on. Share it on the group page. And I'd love to see your versions of it. So other than that, have a lovely day, everybody. Enjoy what's left of a wet forecast. But, you know, we're inside. We've got a cup of tea at hand. Bit of drawing, all's good. So in the meantime then, have fun, and I will see you on Friday. Okay, take care. Bye everybody.